notice there's the map, there's a listing of all the stop signs.
Closest these stop signs are together, the person had to work pretty hard to get up to 30 feet in between.
Well, that's
Well, and
a lot.
the east-west is the only place you can do it.
Yeah, unless you're really wanting to get to 35 mile an hour or 30, I mean, you're,
I mean, the only place would be for
22nd, 23rd.
Yeah, the east-west, yeah.
Yeah. That loop
around.
Silver Fox.
Discuss that ordinance, if we want to actually go that, but tonight we'll see if we will entertain a motion to approve the
So
stop
moved.
sign.
I'll second it.
Been moved by Councilman Miller that we approve the stop signs on ordinance 2189 on the north campus. That's second. Second by Councilman Latrell. Is there any further discussion? No further discussion. Mandy, would you take a roll call vote, please?
Latrell,
Yes.
Richard, Ponto,
Yes.
Gingler,
Yes.
Graybon,
Yes.
Audie,
Yes.
McMillan,
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Thank you very much. We have no resolutions this evening. The next item on the agenda under formal action is the sale of lots to Tom and Mary Clausen. Lots 1 and 2, Block 7 North Campus Edition for the amount of $7,560. And to allow mayor and city clerk to sign contract and all closing documents. Yeah.
In the past, we've had a ready committee that met to go over these before coming to the city council. And we had that ready committee for the purpose of not servicing speculators that are wanting to buy up land. And we had put in clauses that said that we wanted to see some sort of building there within 2 years. There's a new council, obviously, things have changed, and we have a new administrator, but I was wondering if those assurances about something being built there within 2 years are in this existing contract.
What I can tell you is I visited with Tom and Mary Clausen personally about this. They came in and asked about it, and they looked at the lots and said, these are the lots we would like to build on. And he represents a district, at this point, county commission district that's outside the city. But I think at the conclusion of that, within 2 years, they want to build and move into town.
That would switch his district. He would now be in like Cooper District if he lived there.
But he'll be off the commission at the time they build it.
But that'll be in more than 2 years.
I don't think, well, maybe, I don't think so.
Because the mic just got.
Anyway, his intent, and I can only repeat what they said verbally, is that they intend to build within 2 years. And I didn't know about that requirement, they just made that voluntary observation.
Well, for the record, I'm going to be voting against this because I believe that we need to have that requirement in all contracts because we've made agreements with other businesses prior to their purchases based on that. And so for that reason, I'm going to be voting no against this.
That'd be fine.
Right now, we have a lot of speculators that already own property out there,
But they built something.
well, not on every lot. And every
But
lot's
they have a
individual.
time limit to get that by the previous contracts that we had. That was in the contract for up until now. And for that, like I said, I'm one vote and I'm saying no.
Are there any concerns about selling multiple lots to one individual for one house purchase or development? I don't know if
I
that's
think
something.
the way I was always, that these lots are small
Okay.
to where you would almost need 2 lots. Schrader Construction, well, they told me that they were planning to start construction sometime this fall on the park that they own. But they're gonna be using multiple lots because they want a bigger house.
Okay, so that's not an issue. I just was
Yeah.
wondering about that.
That was the main.
Silver Fox with multiple lots too, and he person it was.
I mean, I would agree with Matt, I think something needs to be in here, just like it's in the other ones.
about they agree to build something within that 2-year time frame. Because that's what we require to,
I can certainly approach him and ask if they would provide a letter to that effect in support of it.
You want to table this then?
I would know. I
really wouldn't
I
suggest
don't think
doing.
we can need to table it, I think we could just.
You know, one mayor's
Make the
contract.
motion with the stipulation.
And then,
Mayor,
With
I-
the amendment that.
I might point out to the council, starting next year, you are going to be paying big dollars for assessments on those properties. That's gonna come right out of your mill levy. And any opportunity you have to sell within reasonable considerations, I think, you should jump on it, because you got $19,000
I
worth
think
of
the
assessments
thing
right
we were
here.
looking at was some of these people would be buying this stuff and start selling it for spec homes.
Or sell
And that's
it,
true.
or just sit on it until a big
Right.
magical entity comes in and
Right.
gives them the bank. And they
I
can do
mean,
20, 30, 40
Jay, do you
years.
think there would be a problem with saying, yeah, go ahead with this under the stipulation that they agree to build within, or have some type of construction?
I would suggest that you do that, and if they aren't comfortable with that, then I guess they wouldn't sign either. So,
I mean,
Hey, let's,
but I was kind of impressed with the fact that they're looking for a
oh,
return on
yes,
all.
yeah, I mean, I think it'd be great, but I just don't wanna have somebody come back and say, well, you didn't require this person to do it.
Well, I am glad to know about it, because we had a couple from Concordia come and looked at lots over there too. So people are going to start wandering in and asking about those things.
I'm all for selling the land, yes.
Yeah.
I just don't want it to be.
You create a great liability with that project, so whatever you can do to load those lots is a good deal.
I'll make the amended motion that we approve the sale of this real estate with the stipulation that there be something built on it within 2 years.
motion been made, we approve the sale of lots to Tom and Mary Clausen with the stipulation that something has to be built within 2 years. Second. Second by Councilman Fonto, motion made by Councilman Nardi. Is there any further discussion?
Just the
Started.
wording that built something, you could put a shed on the property, that's my only concern by the way that's been worded. Is I could literally just put a small hut in there and then I've met my requirement and not do anything for the next 10 years. That's,
Travis suggested.
I don't know a better way to put, I sort of wish Katie was here to put a better legal description. Do you say residence, domicile? I don't know,
Residence would be
but
adequate.
that's my concern only with the wording.
I'm sure she'll write that up.
Well, the thing is, if we can't say residence, because that's mixed use zone. So if they don't want to build a residence, if they want to build a convenience store, they can do that by the zoning.
No, it's
Or
our
not there, it's.
Oh, it's been replotted?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's R1, so it has to be a residence.
It's all R1?
Not all of this subdivision, but those particular lots are in our
Yeah,
district.
those are.
Yeah.
Then the construction on an R1 will be initiated within 2 years.
Okay. The motion is to approve the city council meeting, either, wrong one, to approve the, got me all twisted up. Anyway, approve the sale of lots to Tom and Mary Clausen for the amount of $7,560, with the fact that residents will have to be in progress and be built within 2 years. A second. By Ponto. Okay, any other discussion?
We could run into a problem with that, I'll throw something. If Tom and Mary want to build and say a contractor can't get in there within that 2-year period of time because he's also involved in building several other houses.
I think that that's something that they can approach the city and maybe.
I don't know, I just want to.
Yeah,
make
you
sure
know,
that everybody's.
I'm not a lawyer, so I.
See that, yeah, it's just the wording, I guess, that's the
I
key.
think there's always the option for them to come to the council for an extension.
Yeah, and just say, hey, we're willing to build here.
Right.
Our contractor isn't able to get in until maybe it's 2 months after that 2-year time. I don't have a bit of problem with that.
Okay. Those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carried.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Say somebody buys a lot and they don't do anything for 2.5 years. What happens?
You have to pay for it. seriously, we'd probably go back and say.
You guys
hey,
can get busy
give
on
us
this. I can come up with language for you if this is.
I'm not, I don't know how to work, I'm sure there'd be something they recourse.
I just didn't know, you know, there's this
Back.
deadline, but what happens if if the deadline's not met?
You remember?
I mean,
Previous wording.
I can't remember what's in
it sounds kind of scary, but what's the repercussion?
Katie had it drawn up and I deferred it.
So I could ask her, I just was
I don't remember.
curious, we're sitting here talking about this deadline, I'm like, okay, so what happens when we hit the deadline?
it. We'll extend it.
Yeah, I know, but.
I don't know, I don't.
Anyway.
I'm sorry.
Carry on. Excuse me.
Next item on the agenda is the position classification pay plan from Austin Peters Group with the pay range and implementation recommendations for the amount of $11,780. Jay, you have some comments on this?
Yeah, they have met with all of the departments and individuals within the departments, and they completed the job descriptions, and that's what you contracted for previously, and that's done. Now, we've got descriptions, but we don't have a pay plan to support those descriptions. I've been looking at what has been done in the past. The city council adopted a resolution in 2010 setting each pay grade. Half of those pay grades have been violated. And I'm not pointing any fingers at the previous administrator. What has happened, or department heads, but what has happened is they're trying to find employees, and they can't find employees at a pay rate that's commensurate with the current pay grade. So to get somebody, they're skipping grades, which actually fouls up the whole system, because you're putting maybe a clerk with a person who has greater responsibility, but they're getting paid as much or more. So I think this thing needs to be cleaned up. We need to have you need to have a complete pay survey of the area. And look into cost of living. You've been giving cost of living through the past few years. You're 6% behind between what the cost of living actually is and what you brought salaries up to. Yeah.
Are you talking about going away from the existing matrix and doing completely different? Because right
No.
now, it's like a matrix. If you've been here at this level for so long, you get this pay, no matter what your job was. Correct?
Well, it's a step.
Right, but I mean, somebody working at the water plant that's been there for 5 years is getting paid the same as somebody that's been at the Parks Department for 5 years, right?
Well, that's
At the
actually
same
kind of
grade,
thing that's
right?
happened, but that's not what should happen.
Well, yeah, I think part of the problem is do they get a raise every year, whether they need to or not?
Is that raise based on an evaluation?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Each year,
But,
on the employee's anniversary, they have an evaluation form, which is a lousy one here, in my opinion. It needs to be better. And they're eligible to move from like step A to step B, or step B to step C, depending on their performance. It could be denied, but so far I haven't seen any of that happen. But what they've been doing, if they're in grade 5, and they haven't been able to, they've been moving people up to grade 7, which is a whole different pay range with different people in it. And so the whole system is kind of askew. And I understand that the pay ranges, to be competitive, they're actually kind of cheating on the system to try to be competitive in the labor market. But it has really left you without an effective pay plan. So we've got descriptions now, and you need salary ranges to be established. And when that's done, I would suggest you have a better evaluation system than what you have now. I don't believe in automatic pay raises. I believe people earning pay raises. And so some work needs to be done there too. But I think it would be a great assist to the new administrator in managing your personnel system to have something that works. And so I recommend it.
Thank you, Jay.
Yes.
And you, Andrew?
I'm seeing 42 hours on step B to compare current job classification work, and I saw the $90 per hour cost. What overall time frame are we talking about to have this completed in?
We'll have it done by the first of the year. I would anticipate that.
I'll move that we pass it.
It's been moved by Councilman Audi that we approve the proposal from Austin Peters and move forward with the pay range and implementation recommendations and for the fee of $11,780. Have a second.
Going through here, we're approving 11,000 for this, and then the total amount of 35,000. Now, is that for all the services they have provided for us, or will provide?
You have a sheet there with a letter of understanding that has a total of 11,780, and that's what we're talking about.
That's for the, go to the additional work, you turn the page here. City of Blue Lake agrees to provide payments in the amount of $35,300 to be billed in a progressive manner with a deposit and final payment. So,
That was the original contract for everything, so all we're talking about is.
for
that was
the
your
administrator surge,
Administrator search, your personnel rules and regulations.
And what they've done so far. So,
And this is.
and is that 11,000 included in
yes, sir.
this 35 here?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This pay plan is only 11,000, that's all.
Right, but I mean,
yeah. No, that was the total package originally.
Including the 11,000.
Yes, sir.
We're just finally doing that. Second by Councilman Greenbaum. Is there any further discussion? Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is a pickup bid for the water and wastewater in the amount of $29,250.
I have a question about that.
Yes.
We are trading off a water plant pickup, and we're paying for the pickup out of wastewater.
No, we are not trading off the water plant pickup. We will
That's what
be,
you have in your letter.
no, we will be trading off a 94 Ford of the Parks Department. And then the park, we will transfer the 01 Dodge that we currently have to the
Oh, I
Parks
see.
Department. And as far as the wastewater fund, that was my mess up in budgeting last year. I knew I budgeted 35,000 for the routine rotation of this vehicle, but where I'm in charge of both the wastewater and the water budget, I inadvertently put it in the wrong budget. But the money's there and it will not adversely affect the wastewater budget in.
Budgetarily, in that budget paperwork, it's gonna come out of wastewater, but actually the water fund is putting the money in there to cover it.
From the 016 budget, yeah, the 2016 budget, because that was what it was budgeted under.
Okay.
I'll say I was happy to see that you're getting everything you want under your budget. So
I had a question about it. It said in the bid, the one that you're recommending, that there's a warning that it's not completely configured. What was missing from the bid? Because when you look at all the bid proposals, all of the RS don't say this warning, but the one you're recommending says warning, this vehicle is not yet completely configured.
Oh, I think I understand what you're talking about, Matt.
Yes.
My understanding on that is they bring this up and configure it on computer, and until it's actually done, that they want it built this way and ordered this way, it comes up that this is an incomplete, order.
so it's not finalized basically.
Right.
Is there a reason why you're wanting a four-door crew cab?
Well, since you're back on the council again, Ms. Parnell, The reason I elected to go with a crew cab is this pickup is used by all four of my departments for schools, accessory, because we really don't have a good reliable vehicle citywide for that. And considering what's happening with the new water plant structure, you know, I think having the additional space and the four-wheel drive will definitely be to the city's advantage. I look at this as a 15-year investment.
How much does the crew cab add to the cost of the vehicle, you know?
Crew cab over now I don't know on the 2016, but I did look when the last time we bid this on the 17. Last time we did this on the 16, the crew cab option was approximately 2,500. It was less than 3,000, I'm pretty sure, of difference. But then I also compared it, dating it back 15 years of what the rotation date would be, and the trade-in value was $2,500 to $3,000 more. So it basically evened itself out over its life.
Jim, I'd just like to commend you for getting a good bid here, because I bought a truck last year and it was less options and more money than what you got here.
And, well, that's what they put together as a standard package. I didn't bid for, I had a minimum list of bids that, you know, basically, you know, we wanted radio and cruise control, but the rest was just basically the manufacturer's standard packages.
I'd also like to say that, I think it's a wise move to trade the 94 and keep the 2001, so you keep the more recent vehicles. And I would move to approve this expenditure.
We have a motion by Councilman Graybon to approve the 2017 GMC 1500 for $29,250. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Second by Councilman Camilla. Any further discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Thank you, motion carries. Next item is a cereal malt beverage license for Ray's Apple Market for approval. It's been looked over by Katie and Chief Ely. I entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Moved by Councilman Tonto that we approve the cereal malt beverage license for Ray's Apple Market. Do I have a second? Second by Councilman Terrell. Any further discussion? Matt?
In the past, we had a grocery store that didn't want to sell beer. This is just for 3-2 beer, correct? I was wondering what sort of effect this is going to have on our local liquor store economy. I mean, you know, we've got all these liquor stores that, right now, if you go to the grocery store, you can't get beer, so you have to go to all these small businesses. All of a sudden, the grocery store is selling. It's kind of like that Unport, Kansas thing for the state.
That's for our liquor.
Yeah, right, but I mean, it's gonna have the same basic effect. If you want beer, are you gonna be able to get it? And it's because of that hesitation that I'm gonna be voting no. So I just want to, that rationale.
You can go to Casey's, and that's
Right.
a chain that do the same thing.
It's a smaller business. It
Well,
makes the customer.
It's a regional chain, I mean, it's not just a, I'm
Right,
just,
it's not one-stop shopping, is what I'm saying. I'm opposed to the Walmart facility where you get everything.
Any other comment? Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Okay, motion carries. Next item on the agenda this evening is the housing stimulation for the community development block grant time extension. Jay, do you got any comments on that?
No, sir, I don't.
we'd originally asked for an additional 2 months, because we knew it would take, and they basically said 6, they gave us 4. And we knew we were gonna be hitting a wall and be pretty darn close, so. I'd move to approve this.
I'd second.
It's been moved by Councilman Graybon that we approve the housing demolition CDBG grant time extension, and second by Councilman Miller. Is there any further discussion? No further discussion. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries. We have no closed session. I entertain a motion for adjournment. Moved by Councilman Giegler, that we adjourn. Do I have a second?
Still pretty sorry.
Second by Councilman Thompson.
This
No
thing is quick.
discussion. Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We'll move on into the work session.
Can we take a 5-minute break?
Yeah, we'll take a 5-minute break.
Hurry, the meeting just used to go.
Second.
Yeah. Hammer it up.